Well, good morning. We'll wait till some people get in the stream before we get going. Hopefully, we get some people in the stream this morning. Roy's not here the first little bit this morning. He had an appointment he had to get to, so we are going to do what we do until he gets here. How about that? But anyway, we've already had a fantastic morning already. Nobody's here, so this zone, right at the top of the zone, is rejecting. So we got all 9 minutes till open. So Roy's got an appointment once again this morning, so he will be joining us later today. So for the first part, you got just me here looking at some stuff. I do have my chart up. We got bookmap ready to go. We have traded a XFA this morning. Already locked it up, $400. Had this 50 test down here. When it came back up, we got it on the move back up. Got out a little early. We trailed it pretty tight, so well, somebody didn't like what to see just me, so they got in and got out. Thank you. I appreciate that. That makes me feel fantastic. All right. Well, I'll sit there and talk to myself. How about that? I don't mind. Now we're just waiting for the open. Looks like we're probably wouldn't be surprised to get this breakout at open. So don't know what we're going to do right at the open. We're going to wait and see. You got your EMAs pointing straight up. You got your 50 turn, your VWAP up. Your 200 still trending up. It had a little dip here. Of course, when it's moved down, and it's going back up. So we got that. Roy will be here shortly. He's got an appointment that he's taking care of this morning, some personal stuff. So once he gets done with that, he will hop on. But until then, it's just me and you. Just me and you. So let's see what happens here. Might break out for you. Might have to adjust this zone a little bit. I do like it here. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, it's a fantastic zone already. This level has been an issue. You can see we gapped up, broke down. Let's see, 7:30. We had data come out. Let's look at that data while we're waiting. Now, you're just gonna pop in and out. I see. Yeah, initial jobless claims came in at 219,000. Forecast was 213. Previous 207. Labor cost was 3%. Forecast is 3.4. Previous was 0.8. So labor costs actually went up, but not as much as forecasted. Productivity prelim was 1.2. Forecast is 1.2. Previous is 1.2. And the continued jobless claims was 1.886. 1.87 was forecast. 1.858 was the previous. So pretty much right in line. That's why I'm assuming we're seeing, and we're getting this breakout already. So there it is. We'll have to adjust this thing a little bit. I don't like it, but we'll have to do what we got to do. We'll go there. I don't need changing colors. Colors are good. Keep adjusting this. We're looking for the open. Man, I wish I'd have still had that long. We would have hit $1,000 in that long. It is what it is, right? You made $400 and locked that account up today, so you can't complain about that. Do. Let's see what this 5-minute candle does. This 825 candle, this next one. That's the one where always seems to give us a interesting move. We got Logan speaking this afternoon. Let's see, we got Eli Lilly earnings call at 9. That's kind of strange. And you got your natural gas change at 9:30. And then we got the 4-week bill auctions at 10:30. You got ConocoPhillips, their calls at 11. That's another strange time for a call. You got Waller speaking at 1:30. So if you are still trading, pay attention. they moved it a little bit yesterday. And of course, we always have Trump could be speaking at any time. So probably we'll have some moments of silence this morning because there's nobody watching, and I just don't like talking to nobody. So we got one person that pops in and out, in and out, in and out. I don't know if that's a bot or if that's somebody real or what that is, but it is what it is. Today is Thursday. Thursdays have typically not been our best day, so let's see if we can flip that script today and have a fantastic day on Thursday. How about that? CBD is already it's at 825. This thing reset this morning. Something about the MacBook, it didn't reset everything, so we got it above 800 right now. You got the strong levels up there at around 6110 and then down to around 6100 right below it. So that's what we'll be watching. That's kind of a couple places we can pay attention to. Until then, we shall wait. We got 3.5 minutes till open, so this is annoying. Whoever you are, please just either join or don't join. I don't know if it's the same person popping in and out, if it's a bot, what it is. It is what it is. We get a little move down on this candle. Typically, we get a pop eventually, so let's see if it does pop eventually. We're not trading anything here. We're just going to watch it and see what happens. We've got our our zone drawn out. So it's about 18-point zone or so. We can actually do that a little bit. Right there. So from 806.25 to 625. So about 20-point zone we got to start with. I like that. Let's look at the 4-hour real quick. You can see, yep, it is what it is, right? We are in a little uptrend now. So we got this uptrend on the 4-hour. We had this uptrend, and we had this big drop down. You had the tariff news and stuff that caused the big gap down. It's worked its way all the way back up. Build that gap. So we're going back up for that high. Of course, there's your all-time high, 61.85. So we are not far from it, boys and girls. Boys and girls. Okay, now it looks like we're going to test this 8 and see what happens here. Like I said, we're not taking a trade till after open now. So we have had a fantastic week, one of the best weeks we've had in a while. So we definitely got to play it smarter today and not take any stupid chances. If you did miss, I did make $400 this morning. We had this move off the 50 that worked out perfectly. So I took that. I kept my stop really tight because this account still isn't a negative. So we didn't have much. We had $1,000 to work with, a little more. So we took it, got $400, locked it up. So that was done. We're going to focus on this one to start the day with. Ended up after the stream, had a great day. We were down a little bit during the stream, but came back strong. Myself and Roy, I think Roy figured out we sit here from 8 o'clock to about 2:30. Well, I sit here to 3:30 because I was trying to get in that stupid strategy. One thing I did realize, if you are trading that strategy, it does not work after close. You can do single options, but you cannot do complicated options like spreads and stuff. So it would not feel. So we kind of got screwed over on that. So we missed a day. We will not miss today. We have our alarm set to make sure we get in. And we got a couple people here and now they left. So I don't mind hanging out by myself. Got 10 seconds to open. That candle did not pop. So interesting to see if we get a move down here to open or if it pops up out of that zone. Why? Well, it's not a lot, but 9,000. That last one's pretty good volume on that candle. Now this candle's going to explode past that, so no worries there. Let's see if we can get tide set. Oh, it's acting stupid already. I don't like that, but you know, it is what it is. Just open, so it's going to be a minute before we have some data come out anyway on it that's useful. CBD was positive 800 or so, and now if you look, it's gone to negative 1200, so decent move here. Not really shocked. I mean, you did have numbers come out this morning, so you had, let's get back up, it was right. Had jobless claims came out, it missed 219, forecast was 213, previous 207. Labor cost was 3%, forecast 3.4.8, so it beat forecast, but it went up from previous. Productivity prelim was 1.2, forecast 1.2, previous 1.2, and then your continued jobless claims came in at 1.886, forecast was 1.87, previous was 1.858, so not really anything crazy. MO imbalance came out, S&P 500 is plus 277, NASDAQ minus 7, Dow plus 93 million, Mag 7 plus 3. Let's see what we got here. It came down almost a VWAP. It's too early for us to take a trade right here. I mean, you know, if we didn't, I can take some trades early and I can take some trades later, but the volatility right at open, I don't like to take the trades anymore. I used to love it, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? So we can't change how we trade it if we don't do something different. As expected, everything came out on SPY. I mean on tide to the downside, but you are getting a pop here. Volume did turn green, so we'll see what happens here. CBD is negative 1300 now, so we do have that we can share today. If we were to get down to this 50 again and show that it's bouncing back up, I would probably look to take a long. I'm saying we missed some moves by being more patient, but it's paid off. I'm not going to lie to you. It's definitely paid off this week. This week has been a fantastic week. We're up so far. I think it's a little over 5,000 on the week. So, I mean, heck, that's better than a 9-to-5 job, right? The ones just joining, Roy had a meeting he had to attend this morning. They're working on some stuff. So, as soon as he gets done with that, he'll hop on the stream. He is going to be a little later, but he is joining us today, supposedly. Unless something happens and he gets caught up, which hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll see what goes on here. Until then, you've got me by myself, flying solo. Like I said, I don't mind talking to you guys by myself. I just actually get to say what's in my mind and say it out loud instead of keeping it all in and saying it to myself. So y'all get to hear the thoughts of a rambling guy. Still no trades yet besides that pre-market, so nothing since open. We've only been open 4 minutes. A 10-minute candle did come down and test the 50 on a 10-minute and bounced off of it, so probably should have took it there, but could have got us a couple $100 out of it so far, but we'll see. There is no need to rush anything this morning. Yeah, we got it on 2. Just making sure we're where we need to be. All right. CBD's back to negative 1,000 now. It's kind of come back up and then drop back down a little bit here. It's trying to push it down some. So one thing that I can brag on us about, we have been really patient here lately. So there's no need to break that and do something crazy here. 21 might hold it here. I don't know. Or it might not. We're not going to trade it yet. We're going to sit and wait. It's going to come back down. It looks like you got VWAP, the 21, and the 50-day all pretty much right on top of each other on the 10 minutes. So that is a place to watch. A place to watch. Let's see what we do. See what we do. A little bounce off of it so far. Not anything crazy, but this looks a little bigger than what it is. If you zoom out, you can see it's not as much as we think. It got 98.25 and got back up to like 98. So, I mean, it wasn't even a full point off bounce yet. So, we're going to take it easy and play it by ear here. There is absolutely no reason to rush trade. Like I said, we've had a fantastic week. So, we're going to be pretty careful today and tomorrow is the plan. And Lord willing, we'll be able to take a payout on Friday. That would be fantastic. Should have one. I think we've got this account. Let's see how far we got on it. Yeah, we got 4 days on this one. This will be the 5th day, and then we've got another one. That's 3 days. Today will be the 4th. Friday will be the 5th. So coming down, going to test VWAP again. Going to test the 50 on the 10 minute. Watch, see if that breaks down, if that holds. Your volume, your everything on the tide's kind of suggesting that we got more downside here on both SPY and holdings. Puts are popping. Volume has turned really negative. CBD's gone to negative 2,000. You see, we got those orders down around 60.90. We'll see if those hold. We're going to test the 50 now. On the 5 minute, we did break it on the 10 minute, broke VWAP on the 10 minute. It is kind of holding here at the 50, so we're going to see. Tide is super early, so it's hard to tell really what's going on with it. Your call volume is, your call premiums are dropping though, and your put premiums are rising still. And your volume's gone pretty negative, so. But as long as that 50 holds, we can't take a short. So if that 50 breaks, you could look for a move down to the 200. That'd be about 4 points. So if you took one lot, that would be $200 if it does get the break. We'll see. CBD's gone to negative 2,100. But we'll see what happens here with Tide. Tide, typically, you get a reversal on Tide, and you see the reversal here in the market too at the same time. So we'll see if everything kind of swaps around. They threw some orders in there at 95 that caught it. I don't know if you can see this area right below us, that 95 area. That's the orders that caught this, and it bounced on. So we'll see if it can break that down. Then you got all those at 60, 90. They have moved some of those down. So definitely no rush to take a trade, even though it looks like we might get a breakdown here. See if we got any news, any other news come out. Nothing crazy. Trump, we will drive the price of oil down. Everything will follow. Panama's president said, I asked the ambassador in Washington to take firm steps to deny a situation regarding canal fees. Philip Morris, if anyone knows Philip Morris, the cigarette brand, yes, them, Marlboros. They rise outlook tops analyst estimates. Yum Brands becomes the latest fast food chain to tap into AI. Everybody's tapping into AI, I believe. So there's that. The 50's held so far. I still don't want to take a long yet. I just don't. I'm not getting enough showing that we got some support here yet. I mean, even though it is holding, Tide does not suggest it's going to continue to hold. CBD is kind of all over the place. It went to negative 2,000. That's back to negative 16. It could have a little pop here to go further down. We'll see what happens. It's put premiums are coming down some, and your call premiums are going up some. So you are seeing that here, kind of fighting between the 200 and VWAP. Your volume though is still just pretty ugly. Pretty ugly. You could have took that 50 so far off the 50. There's 3.5 points out of it. So we'll see if it gets up here at these EMAs, if it rejects back down or what it does. CBD is kind of going back negative 1,800 here. It's not in love with this move up so far. Your put premiums are trending back up. Your call premiums have sideways out. So volume is still holding negative. It did have a little pop there, but it's coming back down again. So on the Tide, we'll need Roy to hurry up. This talking to myself thing is it's not the funnest thing in the world to do. I'm not gonna lie to you. Had a rejection off the 8 on the 10-minute in the same move here. We are holding above the 50. That's kind of the key we're looking at here. This is yesterday's high. So that could be a bounce spot if we go that far. It's definitely going to be I would think it would be an area of support or resistance. Now you look here, it's held support. There's resistance here, it bounced through it finally, hadn't retested again yet. So if we want to take a short, we want to see this 50 break and get a close below the 50, then we can look. The way it's set up on the 10-minute, it's not going to give us, it didn't give us a candle by candle because you had a kind of indecision candle at the top there. So you put these two together, it was a slightly red candle, but not enough to do a candle by candle off of. That rejection of the 21 is pretty significant there, though. That's a decent rejection there. It's only a couple points so far, but this could be the move that needs to break to 50. You got CVDs at negative 2,000. You got orders sitting. Those orders are still sitting at 60.90. Let's see. So you got all these orders sitting here, and they keep dropping orders here to kind of hold it up. You got this cluster up here around 6,100 that you got to pay attention to, and this cluster here. But look at all these downside orders. All the way down to 60, 70s, 149, 72, 77.50, 80, 81 or so, 85. So it seems to be setting up for a break of this 50. Just see if they can follow through. CVD still chilling about negative 1,900 to negative 2,000. So as long as we don't break this 50, though, we can't take a short here. Or according to our rules, I'm not going to take a short. How about that? You can do however you want to do it. If you see an opportunity to trade, if you trade the EMAs, there's definitely that there for you. So we're going to chill and wait a little bit. Your put premium's coming down pretty hard, so this is why we didn't just rush in and take a short. Volume has turned up. It's headed toward the zero line. It is still red. CVD's negative 1,200. So, like I said, this is why we don't just rush into a short. You was feeling bearish. I was feeling bearish. We were all feeling bearish. Pretty good candle. If you took that 50 trade, that 50 is the spot. That was it. I mean, that's 5 points, 6 points off of it so far. So Just with everything, the way everything was CVD and tied, I just couldn't take it. Volume has turned green, by the way, so that did not take long for that volume to turn to the upside. CVD is negative 300. Let's see if it can pop above the zero. That's a headline. Trump says we're making progress to stop the Russia-Ukraine war. That would be some bullish news there if that was to happen. No other news yet. I need to pull this off. Once again, if you don't have a news source, I love Financial Juice. Yeah, they are fantastic. That is who Top Step uses. I'm gonna tell you, I was using Financial Juice before I started using Top Step, so I'm gonna act like they copied me. But it gives you some really good information. This is the same thing you get off Financial Juice. It is just a tad bit delayed compared to Financial Juice because it's having to go through another third party. So, what a move back up off that 50. My goodness. What is it? 10 points you'd have got off of it? Our day would be done. Our day would be done. CBD is above the zero now. It's at 100. It got up to like 200, but that's moved down. It's pushing it back down. Your volume is turning back down toward the zero line. So we'll wait and see. I would love to get a breakout up here and then go from there. Seems like the 6,100 level would be more of an issue than what it is. It's been going through it pretty easily. Let's draw that level on here. Oh, it's on the candle. Sorry. I was looking like, why is it not moving to me? There you go. There's your 6,100 level. That could definitely be a spot that we look trades off of around, but being this high up, I would like to see it break above this zone, give us our retest, and then bounce. But we have seen the trend has been playing out later in the day, so one of these days we're gonna get a good trend day early. You look here yesterday, pop, drop, and then we got the trend. The trend up started pretty much at 9 o'clock, so 30 minutes after open. We no more really interesting data for us till 10:30 when you get the bill, high yield and bid to covers. That's it's probably going to be a nothing burger, but it's definitely something you need to keep an eye on. Yet here we are. Kramer's top 10 things to watch in the stock market Thursday. No. I don't care what Kramer said. I guess Kramer's still alive because of the inverse Kramer stuff. I don't know. I don't think Kramer is very good. I think he gives a lot of traders a bad name just with the screaming and the antics and stuff he does all the time. I like it. It's not my cup of tea, but volume did come all the way back almost to the zero line. It's kind of bouncing back up a little bit here on Tide. CVD is holding at plus 200. But we will sit here and wait and see what happens. Play what we see, right? If you took this 50 play, congratulations. That was a fantastic play. We are getting pushed back down here. Volume has turned negative, and CVD has turned back negative. So we will not trade this here, even though this is an ugly, ugly candle so far. You got 5 seconds left on it. And this 10 minutes going to give you inverse hammer pretty much. So that is not a good sign. See if we can break down below VWAP here. Y'all, you guys, if you watch, you know what I'm doing. I'm waiting for this 50 to take a short. I got to break this 50 as long as it holds. I mean, we'll have to look for longs. I don't really like the longs right now. One reason I didn't play this one, everything was really looking really ugly on this one. And then, of course, that move up kind of corrected a lot of that stuff. But, man, we have gone back to looking ugly again on Tide and Bookmap. They're dropping these orders to the low side, though. So you got a cluster around 60.92. That's a little cluster right here. And then 138. You got a cluster right here. Some here. So let's look to the upside. You got this cluster here. Here. You got 319 orders sitting at 61.15. That's interesting. And then you got a cluster up here at 30s. Interesting spot to be in. Looks like VWAP might hold. Ooh. Hurry up, Roy. Roy said he just got back and get him some coffee real quick. You don't need coffee. You need to hop on the stream. He just messaged me saying he'll be here in just a second. Well, I'll be doggone. Roy said he had a order sitting at the 50. That's ballsy. My man. My man. Yeah, Roy doesn't mind leaving these orders sitting there. I've been burned one too many times with them, so I don't like having orders sitting there waiting for it to fill. Yeah, exactly, Howie. At least somebody played it. I didn't play. I'm sitting here watching it like a fool. It's okay. I'm $400 from the day already, so I don't really give a crap. I played the 50 over here. Boom. How about that? Can't see them that one, but we've already locked this account up for 690. So I'm not hating. I'm happy Roy made some money. Hopefully you guys are making some money. Hopefully I end up making some more money today. We shall see. Everything kind of moving back up. Lord. Excuse me. I woke up a little earlier this morning. To be fair, no confirmation just shot up. Exactly. Exactly. I'm happy though. I'm happy he made that on. That makes me feel good. Trust me, guys. I celebrate your wins about as much as I celebrate my wins. So I'm happy when you guys make money. Happy when Roy makes money. That's what we're here for. Let me make some money to get in there with you. I've already made some, so like I said, we've had a fantastic week so far. That's why I'm gonna be a lot more patient probably than normal, just because I made more money this week than I would at a regular job. So there is no need to force anything. Roy just taking his time over here, making his coffee, making him an egg sandwich, I'm sure. Looking at all the degenerate sports bets he's going to make for the Super Bowl, all the prop bets he's going to make. Can't wait to see how this turns out and what all he gets into on that. That should be interesting. Trump peace plan for Ukraine is leaked. Talks of Putin, ceasefire by Easter, and end Zelensky's NATO dream among details. Oh, he had to throw the end of Zelensky's NATO dream in there. It was leaked by the Daily Mail. I don't know if any of you guys have kept up with this Doge stuff and the USAID stuff and that USAID, man, that stuff, that thing has gotten, wow. I'm talking about some money that was spent through that you just shake your head at, like the millions of dollars for subscriptions to newspapers. Like, really? I didn't get that one at all, but that's our government. We talked about this before. It can't come down below that 50 though yet, can it? It does not want to break that 50, even though everything's kind of suggesting that we are going to get that break. SPY tide is it is back to an ugly mess right now. So is holdings. Holdings actually turned red. That's unusual volume. But this 50 is still holding, so we can't do anything to that 50 breaks if we want to take it down. Anyone not upset about this is blindly playing 14. Howie, I don't think I could have said that any better myself. The corruption in our government, and this is not by one party, don't get me wrong. The corruption is rampant everywhere. It is all over. It is eat up with corruption. And it's coming to light, a lot of it now, and it is just, I don't know. I'm lost for words on it. I went down a rabbit hole last night looking at stuff, and eventually I just had to stop because I was just pissed by looking at, I'm one that pretty much has to pay in taxes every year, pay federal taxes. But now, of course, Howie, you're a small business owner. Me doing this, I'm a small business owner now. We get destroyed by taxes, and it's going to stupid shit like that. Like, come on. Excuse me, I get upset when I start thinking about that. The money we waste, and it's our money that we're wasting, and then we wonder why we do what we do and where we're at. So, we're not going off that soapbox today. We'll leave it alone. I mean, Roy, come on, sir. You wanted some coffee. It does not take 10 minutes to make coffee. Get your Keurig, put your K-cup in there, and let's go. I sent him a message when he said, "Hey, let me make my coffee real quick." And I was like, "Hurry the F up, bro. Come on." I love you guys, and Howie, thank you for talking. This gives me something to reply back to. That's great. But when it's just exactly, Ouch. I like that. This is about as most degenerate you can get right there. Trading on his phone in the kitchen, absolutely. Probably came home in his boxers. Gonna be dressed from the waist up. All right, we're coming out testing this 50 again. Like, I mean, it's like it was earlier. I just can't take a long off this 50 here. It's just the 50's holding, but I don't have anything else showing that you can go long off this. We might get the break this time. See if we can get the hold. We got a minute left in it. But 10-minute is setting up a beautiful candle by candle to the downside if we close down anywhere down in this range. So that is definitely something. If we do, we got 50 seconds pretty much left on it. So if we get this close here that I want, we'll be looking for a short. Panama president decision to exit Belt and Road agreement with Beijing was made before Rubio's visit. I call bull on it. It's crazy that's not announced till afterwards, right? We are getting a little bounce down here. So we'll see. We got 25 seconds left. And like I said, if it holds here, we've got a pretty candle by candle the downside. So don't mess me up here. Trump's peace plan for Ukraine is leaked. Talked about it again. The Easter, they're showing what the market has done since the crude market has actually took a turn. This thing closed right on top of a candle by candle, and right above the 50. So I think we have to wait, boys and girls, for trade. CVD has kind of turned back, and then Tide has turned slightly in favor of the bulls here. So if you look at CVD, you got your book map there. Got all those orders right above 6,100, and these ones around 60.92 to 60.90. So there's that. We are going for this 50 break again. We did not get the hold below it. So the last time. Hope Roy didn't put just another order to 50. I mean, it wouldn't be taking much heat right this second, but I just still don't love it yet. CBD's back to zero though, so make that make sense to me. Tide is kind of turning back. You got your put premiums turning up. Your call premiums are turning up a little. They're kind of getting a little bottoming out look here, but your volume's still going down. So I still expect this thing to come back, but we need this close below the 50. And this candle by candle would have been an entry up, would have been perfect entry up here. 97. There's 3 points off of it if you would have took it. If I would have took it, just like I said, we're being a little more patient this morning. I mean, Roy, come on, dude. He should have told me, waited until he was ready to get on before he told me, there, finally, my gosh, how long does it take to make coffee?
I made some cheese toast too. Got it next to me.
So I knew you were doing something else. I always said that you were trading on your phone in the kitchen, and I said, yep, in his boxers and just dressed from the waist up.
Oh no! I had to leave the house this morning, so I had to get pants on.
Yeah, I figured you came home and just took the pants off. First thing you did when you walked in the door.
No. I always get worried, like when you get up and you say you're taking a break, that they get to see the lower half. It's gonna be a bare ass or something showing up. All right, what I miss? Looks like we got a zone.
Yeah, I hadn't done anything this morning. I mean, besides that, I did pre-market on that other account where I got $400 on that.
Beautiful.
$400 on it and locked it up already. So this is the one. Everybody, if you didn't see this was after stream yesterday. This thing actually went negative, went below this negative 2,000, but the candle didn't close. So it came back. Well, guess what? Now we got this. We got that much to play with now. This is another one. We got to get this one going, but we're going to focus on this one this morning.
Switch my.
All right, Roy, since you're back, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to talk by yourself because I'm tired of talking. So I will be right back.
Bye. All right, let's take a look. We got market side, general market side, puts are rising, calls are dropping, price action falling. That's not a good look. Let's see what SPY is showing. SPY is showing kind of the same thing. So you're getting a little wacky start, but it looks like it's kind of trending to the down. So if you're getting a 6,100 rejection on ES, yeah, so I just drew my zone. So we got a little zone coming from the top of the zone of 61,606 to 60,86, about a 20-point zone. We're kind of right smack dab in the middle, right under VWAP here. So I mean, that's a 10-minute chart again. I just kind of got to my desks, but this looks like a pretty good short. If we got a big 10-minute candle go down, wick up, looks like a small rejection at VWAP, and now it could be trending down to probably test the bottom of the zone here. But I'm not entering anything because I need to get my bearing straight. VIX is dying, so that would go against that short. However, if you do get a little pop here where VIX gets back above maybe 1575, 16, you will get that move down. Got TNX 4.43, had a gap down yesterday. It's just kind of grinding. Or sorry, two days ago. That was that Monday drop. Then you had a gap up. and kind of grinding back down. Interesting on TNX. Whoa, big bread candle on Dixie. So, so you had a Dixie getting some momentum last night, and it looks like it's kind of stalled a little bit, but looks like it wants to get back over that 108 range. Excuse me. I took a little sip of my coffee that took so long to make. Apple opened up, roared up, kind of hanging out now. Red candle. Nvidia was climbing in pre-market and then got thumped right at the open. Looks like it's holding its own though at 126. Microsoft. It's like a potential bull flag happening right at the open. Shot up and just kind of coming down a little bit. Google. At some point, this name's going to get some buyers. So on the lookout for when that buy the dip moment is for Google. And today we have Amazon release earnings today. So my anticipation is they front run this a bit here. Let me back it up a little bit. You can see this move. It's kind of cooled off yesterday and could kind of just grind today, with my guess. Meta, the darling of the Mag 7, continues to just go nuts, up another 1.3%. $9 up, over 700 comfortably now at 714. Tesla, the dog of the Mag 7. Wow. So, yeah, that is not a good look. However, let's look at Tesla. This could be a good look. Ooh. This 360 was about the spot for me that I was looking at potentially a bounce zone. Doesn't hold 360 though. You got probably a 20-point drop to the 340s. I mean, it is still higher, still riding that election hype push up. I mean, that was an incredible move from 250 to 88? Yeah, almost 500. So, not a good look on Tesla there. Interesting. Coin daily chart, you can see it's just kind of grinding. Let's go back to a shorter time frame. Just following Bitcoin. So big green candle coming up on a little recovery here. Bitcoin still below 100,000. Just can't quite get above it. So we'll keep an eye on that. Solana in a downtrend now, under 200, 195. Oh, Micron. Look at that guy. Okay. Back over 95 now, up 2.38%. Good. Palantir. Did you write those calls, Monty?
Yeah, they feel.
The calls you wrote filled?
Yeah.
Or you're okay. Did you write them this morning? Or did you write them yesterday?
I wrote them yesterday afternoon.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's not bad. We're happy as a peach if those fill, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that for tomorrow or is that for next Friday?
I did it for next Friday.
Okay. Wow, that's good. Mango. Cool.
Yep. And if we keep these, we'll write them again next Friday or next.
I said the best scenario, right? You get a close at 105 next Friday and everybody's happy. Your shares are good and your pocket the premium. Beautiful. AMD 109, not quite 110. What a terrible stock.
I knew when I came back you would be on some crazy stuff. Let's talk about everything but what's happening in the market. We're getting a pop here. Getting a nice pop here.
Hey, in the middle of the zone, man. You're just hanging out. Man.
It is. But look at this pop.
Yeah, it's a good pop. It's a good pop. Bearish engulfing previous candle, and then it says nope. How much time we got? Oh, yeah, that's a strong finish to the candle. I'll give you that.
Yep.
What's Tide showing? Ooh.
Yeah, Tide is not really. I mean, your volume started to pick up, but your call premiums are down. But you put premiums down with it, so it's a little. So far this morning, Tide, and we kind of talked about this earlier before you hopped on that. The more data you can see, the better off you are. But Tide and nor CBD is really giving us much help this morning. I know you did take this. You had ordered this 50, which was a fantastic trade. I told you that you took it. That's why Howie said you was trading on the phone in the kitchen. Said, yep, probably so. But
Actually, I had a fishing order. I had a fishing order right at the open. I was like, you know what? If it gets down to that 50 again, I'll take it.
I told him, I was like, ballsy move, because there was nothing else showing that was a good trade. No offense. There was nothing else there that said that that's what you should have done. But you know what? You did it and it worked out. So congratulations. I told them that I am happy for you. I'm happy for you guys. I'm almost as happy for y'all when y'all win as when I win. So
absolutely.
Yeah, this is I told the guys I've had a good week, so there's no sense to force anything here today, but it's really boring so far. I had a little excitement this morning when I made my little money. I kept my stupid stop loss too tight, and this was the trade and came back up and it got me here. If I would have held, look what I could have got out of it.
Ripped up, yeah.
But that account was playing with fire, so we're trying to get it where we're not.
It's surviving, right? Those extra points would have helped, but on the flip side, the consequences could have been, it could have killed your confidence going into the day, all that fun stuff. So,
yeah, it's today like it. I mean, win or losing that trade, we wasn't going to force anything else. So I think we've kind of stuck to that. I told the guys I don't really like playing opening anymore. I used to love to play the open, but now it's a guessing game pretty much, and the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So
yeah, and I mean, we kind of mentioned it earlier this week on the stream, but this, we do use the 8 and the 21 and the 50 and all these things, and really, if you just stick with the 8 for a minute, and you go right at the open, that volume on the 8 candle is so different than the previous 7 candles that made up the line there. So it's almost like if you're going to use the 8, you might as well get 8 candles at the open to show you if the trend is established or not. Right. Yeah. So that's 40 minutes. So we would just now be hitting kind of where the 8 is now in a direction that you could actually trust.
So I just showed the guy. If you look at the 4 hour, see we've had this trend up, it broke down, trend up, and we had the tariff news broke back down, but trending back up. We've got a pattern going, right? It's pretty consistent. You look over time, we're getting these moves. See, we got to go 48 to make a higher high. So you would expect to continue the overall trend. The overall trend right here is down. You got a high here, lower high forming here. You had a lower low and a lower low here. So odds are you would expect a flush back down, somewhere in this range down here if it's going to continue the same trend it's on. Or do we break the trend? I mean, you can see here we did the same move here, right? And then we dropped down, but then we broke the trend, moved back up. Trends are your friend. Can we trademark that?
I like that.
The trend is your friend. Let's make a t-shirt with that. That's our logo. Oh, man. We are just, having fun right here. Doing absolutely nothing. It is. This does show you though that if you just stick to a strategy, they don't always work. We had a perfect candle by candle to the downside on the 10-minute chart, and we just went above that last break there. So that is no longer valid. So that shows you that risk management stuff is actually a really good thing. I love this headline by Market Watch. It takes more than terror and deep sea to keep the stock market down in 2025. You, sir, need a raise. Well, then you get this. My son's father died, but his stepmother won't return his calls. We don't even know if there's a will. What do I do now? How is that stock related?
I don't know. Let's talk about it. What do you do now?
Well, I mean, one, you go through probate.
Yep.
So it's held up in probate for about a year. You have to hire an attorney. You go through all that. Once you clear probate, then, well, guess what? He can get to us. But everything's going to sit there for a minute. Probate sucks. If you never went through probate, it's horrible. We went through probate.
I never have.
They actually had a will in the state of Mississippi. You still have to go through probate, so it's not as extenuous as a main probate, but you still have to hire a lawyer and do all that. And it was really annoying.
I bet.
Luckily, we just had a house and a little bit of cash, not a lot to fool with. So, house was paid for. So we ran it through probate, and my brother ended up buying me out of my half of the house. And weird thing, his wife's now living in it, but he's not. So, but they are still together. Make that make sense.
Well, I guess everybody has their needs.
He told me, he said, look, if we live together, we'd be divorced. We're not divorced, we don't live together. All right.
I think Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, I think, are like that. They still married and live in two different houses.
I'm sure my sister-in-law and brother probably don't watch the stream, so I can say she's a lot.
She's a lot. She's a handful. I think
she's a hoarder. So, but she doesn't believe her. So the house is just full of junk. And my brother is a neat freak. He likes everything to be in a certain clean. And I'm like, why the hell did you ever marry her? I mean, y'all are complete opposites here on that.
Yeah, that's that would be tough. I can now makes complete sense why they would live separately.
Yeah. Well, they lived in the house together, the first house they had, and it was a complete disaster. Well, my mom had Alzheimer's. I know a lot of you don't care about this, but my sister-in-law ended up being her caretaker, so she stayed there with her pretty much every day.
Yeah.
And she slowly started moving some of the stuff out of his house over there. Well, I think my brother just helped her, like, let's get all the shit out. So I think there's still one bedroom at the house with some of her stuff in it, and he keeps the door closed and never looks at it. So,
all right.
The rest of it is all his, and neat and clean and organized. And
modern problems.
85 cats and 4 dogs, and
oh no,
a garage so full you can't even think about walking through it. But she leaves it open for the cats to live in it, and it smells like piss. So, needless to say, if I'm invited over for lunch or dinner, I don't go.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Used to go over for Christmas, and I took Eli over one time, and Eli was fixing to grab something to eat, and I slapped his hand and said, "You put that stuff away. No, you're not eating. I'm not eating it." Crazy said my dad was a hoarder, still got tons of his stuff to get rid of 12 years ever passed. Yeah,
man.
I don't know how people live like that, to be honest with you. My ex-mother-in-law, she's moving to Florida, and my ex-wife called, like, hey, do you want some of this stuff from her house? Like, absolutely not. She's like, you don't need anything. I said, I need absolutely nothing. I need to get rid of some stuff myself. So no, I'm not bringing anything else into my house. Well, you can use this. Like, nope, don't want it. How about a crock pot? Nope. Everybody always needs to say crock pot. Nope. Don't want it.
No.
Place for it.
Yeah, I think obviously online shopping and then the marketplace stuff and all that just kind of fuels the addiction for the hoarding.
Harry, you in here
Yeah,
today? Because Harry is a marketplace guru.
yeah.
If you need help with marketplace or you're looking for something, reach out to Harry. He got you.
I have I had a saying that I would joke with my wife when she would buy stuff like this, and my mother-in-law was big on that. It's like, well, you're losing money if you don't buy it, right? It's such a good deal.
Yeah, I don't look at things that way.
you
I look at
don't
things. If I order something, what do I have to throw away?
you don't look at your Kohl's cash or Kohl's receipt and say, "Man, I saved $700 today."
No, the worst
Instead
one
of
is
saying,
Kroger because they send me a thing, and of course it's food stuff, so it's a little bit different. But
"Yeah, it's a little bit
you
different."
say so and so this year, and I'm like, did I really? Have I really saved this much? Really? You call it a deal, and everybody else calls it regular price. I felt this too much. If my dad would have discovered Amazon, good Lord. Howie's on your train, can't afford
Yeah,
not to buy.
yeah. I'm losing
I'm
money
on.
if I don't buy this.
I have a problem.
Yeah,
If I see something that I want, I buy it. So I try not to look at anything.
my I had completely well, a little related, but I'll tell you this story. Um, I got put in a position where I was forced to buy a sale because my son was hungry and it was getting late, and I was like, all right, let's just get you something food, some quick. I'll pick it up on the way home. So he only likes a hamburger, or he likes a cheeseburger with just ketchup, like every normal kid. I don't know what it is. Every kid does that. I think I did it when I was little. So I go to Wendy's and I buy a Dave's single, ketchup only, $6. No
That's fair.
fries, no drink, $6 Dave's single. And
So what
my
you got?
mouth
You got.
dropped.
I know you got to change
What?
this though. There's a secret to a cheaper menu at Wendy's.
Okay.
First, download the app and order off the app. They give you deals all the time for
All
like
right.
99-cent burgers. Two, go the junior bacon cheeseburger route and just take the bacon and cheese off.
Well, so here's what I did. So they had the 2 for $7 deal going on right now. So you can get two sandwiches for $7. So basically $1 more, I could get a full spicy chicken sandwich, which I was like, somebody in the house will eat that. So I paid $6 for the Dave single, then I did the 2 for $7, so it was really like $3.50. I get a spicy chicken sandwich. Of course, my assumption was wrong. Nobody in the house ate the spicy chicken sandwich. My son mows through the hamburger and says, "Is this all we got to eat?" So lesson learned is if I'm going to do the junior bacon cheeseburger route, I think I'm going to have to get like 4 of them for him because
But they're
he
cheaper,
just
so you
they
still
are
do it.
cheaper. Could do it.
Howie, this is why I tune in as much as I can. Real money saving techniques. That is our goal here.
Yeah.
We try to help
Well,
any way as possible. Seriously though, if you ever do order fast food, get the app and order the app. It's always cheaper on the app because they're trying to get people to go to the app,
I
and
just
you get
feel like
rewards.
my chances of diabetes increases 10 times if I download fast food apps on my phone.
But you're already going to fast food. Like I have all of them. Like
Yeah.
I do, like Sonic. I get the deals on Sonic all the time. I've got like some free tater tots there, sitting there waiting.
Okay.
The Burger King app.
Well,
I need to get the Burger King app. We have a Burger King in town. And it's one on my side of town, and they are horrible. But the original chicken sandwich, the
oh yeah.
OG that started
Oh yeah.
everything, is
Oh
still
yeah.
one of my favorite chicken sandwiches out there.
Like, let me get an
Only
8-inch rectangle chicken sandwich.
I like it with mayonnaise, and they put so much down. And I don't care what Burger King you go to, it is just so much mayonnaise on it. You can't. So the first thing I have to do is take half the mayonnaise off when I get it. But the OG is the OG. It is still the great sandwich.
Getting embarrassing
Ugly.
gulping here on the 10-minute. Yeah, nasty candle. Look at your tide. Here's your spy tide. Price is dictating the chart, but the put premium dropped and the call premium started to drop, your volume increased here. You got we got below the zero line on general market tide and then pushed up with the put
News,
premium.
news.
News. What's our news?
U.S. issues fresh Iran-related sanctions. The new Iran-related sanctions target shipping oil and energy companies.
Mm.
So we have Iran news. You knew something. He was mentioning Iran yesterday, so you knew something had to come from eventually. I have never heard of.
I've heard angry chicks.
I've never heard of that. It's got to be a West Coast thing, I guess.
Let's try that.
Well, look where we bounced at right here.
Let's go to your screen. What we got? Oh, well, that level.
Yep. U.S. nominee Greer, discrimination against U.S. tech firms by other countries will not be tolerated. Also, Greer, I will seek to implement trade policies to incentivize paying jobs for American workers. North Sea blizzard, oil field to shut down in August for work. Oh, sorry. North Sea buzzard. That's an buzzard oil field. Sorry.
Buzzard.
I need to get to the point. I'm going to give me some readers eventually. Not yet.
So,
that
one of the things that we keep harping on is trying to be patient. And yeah, so we're going to have weird random conversations pop off because honestly, we shouldn't be trading some of this stuff because it doesn't fit our strat. So we had a opportunity there where we could have possibly broken out of the top part, but we never did, and we came right back down due to news. You're getting a bounce here off of a level, and also I think the 200 off the 5-minute.
This is yesterday's high, so that's the low.
Yesterday's high. So you got a bounce off yesterday's high, which coincides with the 200. However, you got news. Yep. So how is that news going to get processed? A very bearish engulfing candle on the 10-minute. Forming. We still got 2 minutes, 30 seconds left, but that will be barring a huge turn up here in the next 2 minutes. Bearish engulfing candle.
One reason Roy's called said nice pop there off yesterday's high, absolutely. But the reason why I didn't look for a long on this level is we are below that 50. So we moved down below that 50 pretty quick. I like the rule. You know, if you're below the 50, you don't look for calls, and if you're above, you don't look for puts. So I mean, look for shorts. So I'm gonna stick with it. We've had a fantastic week by doing that, so there's no need to change that, right?
Right, and kind of reversing back to that 4-hour trend, right? We are still in a downtrend, not a sexy downtrend, but it's a downtrend. So as long as you keep that rule with the 50, you're actually now working with the trend.
So your shorter term trend here from the 1st of February up is it's an uptrend. There's no doubt that's an uptrend. But your overall trend is a downtrend. So until this is broken, we're still in a downtrend. Now, yes, you do. Can you make money both ways on this? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Look here on the 4-hour. We're actually above the 50 on the 4-hour, and we're right below the 50.
Flagging.
And then we're below the 50 on the 5-minute. So it's kind of where you kind of put a few different things together, right? So we look at the 50 off the 5-minute and 10-minute, and do I care about the 50 on the 4-minute? Yeah, but it also, you look where it's at. It's at 50. What is that? Let's look at it over here. 62.73, right? And then let's go to 5-minute. Well, we got a long ways to go to get to that area, so we definitely could see a move down because we're trading. We're not trying to hold for 4 hours. Even though yesterday it felt like I held a trade for 4 hours. I've never had a trade that kind of went against me so long. I mean, it's pretty much. Look over here. Let's find it. I think I held one. Was it here, Roy? No, it's here. I held all through all this. And finally, I was in a short, and I finally got the move down here. Well, look what happened right after. And I think you go back and look at mine and Roy's conversation yesterday afternoon. I said, I think they're going to rip us up in Paddle Hour. Well, it kind of came down and popped up. Look at that move up on it. So, and it wasn't anything that showed that I was looking any different than what you guys look at, but looking at Tide and CVD and kind of how the day was playing out kind of gave me that, hey, we're going to get a pop here. And we ended up getting a pop there. So, oh, come on, give me a trade here. But there is no FOMO with this guy today. No FOMO at all.
Yeah, you look at
CVD, it just was fixing to go to negative 1,000, but it was holding around negative 700. Swinging a little momentum to the downside now on CVD.
yeah, you got a little pop and put premium here above the 0 line. The volume kind of taking that turn down as well. So you could get your break here to the bottom of the zone at 86. 86.50, but you are at support here a bit with that 200, so you want to see it break the 200. Just got to be careful. You could get a pop all the way back up to the 50, reject at 95.75, and then come back down.
Another thing you can put your middle line. We don't trade it as much. I want to see, is there a way to, I guess not. I was going to see if you could have it where it's showing up more over here, but it is what it is. You can look at the middle line. You can kind of see that's kind of a, if you are trading a zone, you could use this almost like the 50, right? If you're above it, puts if you're below it. That won't be the end all be all for me, but it is good to look at and have on your screen. I don't know why I didn't have it on there before. Well, we got a cluster down here. So let's go to, look at this cluster right here. Now, I haven't looked enough to see if these are static orders or if these orders are moving with it. So we'll pay attention. You got a smaller cluster up here, but when you look, these orders are stacked from 95 all the way up. So, but you get the same here. And I'm telling you both sides, and what you're seeing is you're seeing both sides from the move here, because it's just not breaking down like I want to take a trade.
Yeah, you've gotten some wicks down here on the 10-minute chart, especially seeing. So just got to be careful. There are buyers showing up.
We did have that candle by candle, so to the short side. So I would think if we get back up here, test the 50 and show any signs of weakness off that, it could be a good short. At least 3 points out of it, maybe more. But we'll see. And that also, this 50 is going to, let's see what the 50 is there, 97. So about right here's your 50 on the 10-minute. And you have all your EMAs clustered up there together. Every single one of them is together on top of each other.
And pointed down.
So, yeah, and pointing down. So now if we see some rejection here, and wouldn't hate if it got to 97.50, because that would actually line up with the 10-minute chart. We are getting a little uptick in volume, call premium, put premiums down a little bit. CVD's back to negative 400, so you're not getting a ton of information off here. Well, I think I want to take a short here, but I just don't like it with this move so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting...
Well, I was late to the party.
Yeah. Look at the last 30 seconds of this candle have been gross.
Frustrating. I said if it shows any weakness at all up here, you could probably.
I think you're gonna get a a lower 8, obviously, on this next candle on the 5. It just popped up. So what are you looking at? 96 is now where the cluster could be.
I normally take 2 lights. I was trying to get in one here. We'll see if it feels. It still could fill in this candle and go in our favor. But we were talking about the candle by candle. That's 4 points off the candle by candle on the 10-minute if you took off that high. Now we're gonna catch the exact high or the exact low. No, I mean we might get lucky sometimes and do it, but it is good. It's fun to look at and be like, oh, I could have made all this. Well, yeah, you could have. Like I said, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. If a frog had hips, it would wear holsters and snakes.
In?
I am in one lot. And if you look where it is, we can actually let this thing. I mean, we can let this play out. So I'm going to leave my stop where it is for now and see if it plays out in my favor. If it starts to turn against us, we'll probably cut it. But we got a lot of room to play with before we get there. So when you do take one lot instead of 2 lots, you got more room to play with, and it's not as. If I would have taken 2 lots, my stop would have been about right here. So, I mean, this trade might work against us. Yeah. There's no givens.
You had to push up now to VWAP.
That might have been the better entry there if it shows rejection here. We're right in line on that candle by candle to the downside on the 10-minute now, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like this would be the entry if you're doing candle by candle. Raise you long off the previous day low work. Great job.
Beautiful.
Yep. I can't do that. We have a strategy. If we can't stick to our strategy, what can we do, right? Tide is not looking fantastic for my short now.
You get call volume or put volumes creeping up on SPY. Same on holdings. Same on general market.
Holdings hadn't looked that bad, or general market hadn't looked that bad in a while.
Mm-hmm.
We've had, I can't remember the last time we had negative volume on both of those.
Yeah. So you're getting this push all the way up to 6,100, it looks like. So.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm watching to see if it breaks above that and closes. Well, there you go, folks. That's how you lose on a trade. Come back tomorrow, see me lose on another one, or Monday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just barcoding, right? You had a clear bearish engulfing candle on the 10-minute.
Yeah. Now you're forming a bullish engulfing.
Engulfing on the other side. You're above the 50 now, so it ran through all of your EMAs, which were all pointing down. Now, obviously, this candle can bend a lot of that.
Yep.
So, do you come back down and retest the V? If you come back down, retest the EMAs and hold, then you'd go long.
Or you cut the short you're holding.
Or you cut the short you're holding. Yeah, I got stopped out of mine. So, and there it goes right back down. Look at this. Good job.
Well, not yet. What is I don't see anything yet.
What in the world? That is frustrating. I got stopped to the tick. Lovely.
We're guaranteed $225 in this trade. I don't give a crap what happens. I'm out. I hope you are amused, folks. The only thing I see is that Greer, he's the USTR nominee. That's the U.S. Treasurer, right? Universal tariff should be studied and considered to see if it can be reduce the U.S. trade deficit. So, only thing I can figure out is you had tariffs mentioned by somebody. So, the algos popped it.
I mean, my stop was 101.75. That was my stop.
What account was you trading?
Personal.
My
top step.
Well, that's the reason I gave it room to work. If we would have took two, we would have got stopped out of that trade before it ever played out. So, and look, I cannot take any credit. That was pure ass luck right there. How that
eat my cheese toast on mute for a second. Get my bearings straight.
That cheese toast ain't no good no more. It's got to be cold. It's been holding it for what, an hour.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, I go to Kroger. They got some Kobe cheese. I get Kobe. It's like a cheddar, but it's a little bit, I don't know, I guess milder than a cheddar. And I get Texas toast, and that's what I make my cheese toast with, and it is fantastic.
I love Texas toast.
Yeah, I got where, so the Texas toast, there's Lewis Bread Company. I don't know, I think Lewis Bread Company's nationwide. Their bread is always so fresh, and it's so fresh for, like, even a week after you buy it, it still just feels like just when you just bought it. Now, you pay a little bit more money for Lewis Bread Company, and they also offer here, because it's usually, most time it's me by myself, they do the half loaves. So I can buy the half loaves, and then I don't waste any. Because I rarely eat a full loaf unless I'm like Roy and I'm getting a grilled cheese and a cheese toast, little what's the word I'm looking for? Right there where I'm doing it all the time, then I'll do it. But I typically don't eat just regular sandwiches a lot. So if I'm gonna eat a sandwich, it's gonna be like a fried egg sandwich or something like. I love a fried egg sandwich. I might do that for lunch today. Now that I thought about that, I got some fried egg pantry. Hey, while we're shopping around here, I'm gonna grab a drink real fast. It'll be 2 seconds. I'm not leaving. I'll just be 2 seconds.
Okay. No problem. So you gotta wake up to those EMAs and you get a rejection here. But you are approaching the 200 MA on the 5 minutes, so kind of that was such a wild turn of events. Not a fan of it, to be honest. To get stopped out by a tick. Stopped out by a tick, and then to watch Monty win. I mean, bittersweet moment for me. But back to the drawing board. What's still in the zone. Still got wacky news all over the place. Still.
Yeah, this Greer looks like he's going to have about the same impact as Trump when he speaks. It's important to have transparency on outbound investment into China. Trade risk. You're going to have to say this word for me. Reciprocity with China requires both tariffs and non-tariff barriers.
Yeah, that word.
Yeah. I could ask, my phone to say it. I'm not going to say her name because she'll do. Yes, what do you need, Monty? I hate how it pronounces my name, by the way. When I was growing up, that was my pet peeve when a teacher would call me Monty. I was like, it's not Monty, it's Monty. No, it's Monty. I was like, I mean, I'm the one that has the name. I think I know how it's pronounced. Not you. Yeah, and I'm sure all you guys are really surprised. I was really hard headed as a kid too, so I would
I
do
could
all I
see.
could. I know, right?
Look at that wick up, man. Just canceled right out of those EMAs and said no, no bueno. Now we're below the 200. Went back, retested it, and rejected.
The funny thing is, you were talking about this candle here. It's like, yeah, this candle here. I mean, it's going. They can move all the EMAs up. Blah blah blah. Look what that just one move down did to them.
Yeah,
Destroyed
right
the
back
EMA.
up.
Destroyed them. Yeah, good job. Rosie, you're killing today, bro. Good job.
Nice.
They took a short off view out there at the crazy wick. Fantastic.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know. We're now a little over $600 up on the day. Roy knows I've been on this $1,000 kick, and it has been fantastic. Actually, a little more than that. Nope, just made back law. Okay, but hey, still a good trade though, bro.
Yeah. Well, you're approaching the bottom of the zone with a strong move down.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to see is you break down the zone, you retest, you fail, and then we can get down to that, 78, 70, 76 levels.
So you got this little level here, this 84, and then, well, actually probably about 81.50. You got, I mean, so let's draw it out, right? That's what we do. So you got this level here you got to watch. That's at 84.50. And then we're just looking at the tops because it breaks those tops. Now we can look at bottoms. So kind of these levels here you look at, and you could possibly put one right here too. That would actually line up with those there all the way across. So see how these, you got touches there, touch there. So here you got touch. So if you look at the places where we actually have these little things drawn out, you can see multiple touches. So look at it here, how it struggled to get down below that one. So that's right at the bottom of our zone. You can see here we got all these candles here, but not the first one closed below it. So you could actually play this with your zone too. So, well, there it is.
There it is.
Whoa, book map looks bad. But are we going to close below? What's the deal? Notice we still have not closed below. You might want to chase it down. That's why you don't chase there, fellas. Why you don't chase.
Over the tide, you got not a big change in tide. I mean, you do have a steady move down.
Yeah, I think that's your bigger key here. Instead of the drastic moves, notice that go to SPY. Are you on SPY? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Notice that your calls are going down. The trend is down. Your puts were up and then it kind of dropped down, but it's going back up again. So you're trending back up. Your volume is trending down. I mean, everything says short. CBD's right at negative 4,000. Roy can attest yesterday when I was talking about the pop. One of the reasons I was talking about the pop, CBD just kept climbing. No matter which way the candle was, CBD just kept climbing up. What did it get to 16,000 at one point?
16,000, yeah, while it was falling. And we're like, oh, okay.
So it gave you the indication like, hey, there's buyers here. They're fixing to pop this thing. And they did. So you might have to sit through some junk sometimes if you trade it that way. But eventually it plays out if you give yourself, that's kind of what I'm talking about, if you can give it enough room to move, right? Because if you notice, these flags more than not have been playing out. Now, do we form a flag to the downside here? It's a good question. That's what we got to figure out. We did not close below any of this stuff down here. We drew these levels. We talked about how we had all these, we didn't get a close. Well, guess what? There's another one, no close. I mean, this might be the point where you take that 92 level. Yesterday, previous day's high played a big part in yesterday's play too.
Mm-hmm.
It reversed off of it with the first move down, and the move up when it finally broke back above it, it bounced off of it to give the move up. So it was telling. I just don't know if I can take a short here. I want to take a short. I should have done the 200. And we might just move to, okay, that one. Yeah, let's go to this one. This is another one. I need $200 on this one to give us 4 days of 200. All you guys, while you're watching, I just want to share something with you real quick. I was looking at Facebook earlier, and a guy had made $1,000 in a week, and he took a $500 payout. Top step: when you take a payout, your first payout, your max loss limit goes to 0. So he left himself with a $500 buffer, and then he complained that he didn't know that he was going to leave himself with a $500 buffer. If he had known that, he wouldn't have taken the payout. And of course, in the Facebook group, everybody's like, "Well, bro, it's in like here's 18 places where it's mentioned that it goes to 0."
Right.
And he's like, "Well, I think Top Step should do something about that because that's not right." And I'm like, "Well, it's in their rules. I mean, pay yourself, but know that your loss limit goes to 0. That's why it's best. So on these express accounts, once you get over 2,000, this is 0 anyway. So it's best to get it over 2,000 before you take your payout, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the magic number. It's the magic number is 2,000.
Roy, I keep hesitating right here.
I took a short, so you're probably better off staying on the sideline.
I want to take it right there below the 8. Let's see. We're going to give us some room to play, and it might. Before that news and that big dip, we were kind of looking bullish, so it could not work in our favor. Couldn't move all the way back up. I mean, I hope it rejects here, but you're right at the 13 on the, no, it's right at the 8 on the 10-minute, right below it. So
back to your point about taking the payout and stuff like that. There on Top Step X, let's say your balance on you've gotten 5 days, $200 consistent, and your balance has never broken above 1,000, and you take that payout and your drawdown. If you didn't take the paydown, it would be negative 1,000, right? $1,000 profit minus $1,000 negative. Why should do it? Top Step X, in my experience, when I've taken an early payout, they still give you that negative drawdown, but if your day closes below 0, they shut you down. So if you take the payout, so you got a $500 buffer, but for that day of trading, you actually have a $1,500 buffer. You just got to make sure you close above 0. That makes sense.
Yep.
So if you're gonna do it, you can do it.
Is delayed on. So I've seen it both ways. I've seen it on mine where it automatically adjusts, but it doesn't always do. I think it depends on what time you take the payout.
Yeah.
We're gonna just move it to there. We're not gonna risk as much on this one. Hopefully we get this push down. It's not being as strong push down as I want it to be, but Ty's suggesting that it's going to continue to trend down. Book map is negative 4,000. So you got these orders at 85. 85, which you can see down here. Where did we bounce at? Right around 85. Those orders are still sitting there, and you got a lot of orders sitting down there. It's actually 84.50. It's 329. But this is kind of what kept it from going to hell a second ago. So now, obviously, I want it to go down. So, but we're going to play it out. We're going to leave it room to run. If we get to, let's say, if we break back down here, I will move my stop and to guarantee some profit. But it's not giving me the breakdown here that I really want out of it. I mean, it's not bad.
No. It had a little moment there, and then it's kind of.
I don't like how it
shook it
closed
off.
above the 200. So we're going to take a little heat on this trade now. Not a lot, but we'll see what it does. They didn't move some of these orders up too. So these orders that rated 450, so it shows you these are not static orders. So these orders will move with it, and the odds of these orders getting filled are slim to none, probably, unless we just get a tank and it's too late for them to pull them back. Yeah, spoofing orders are illegal, by the way, guys, so you know. I say that with some sarcasm in my voice, if you couldn't tell. Because you see them every day. To be illegal and see as much as you do. And all you got to say is, well, I mean, I wasn't doing it to move the market. I actually had it there, and then my client changed their minds. We pulled them.
Yeah, it's very hard to prove.
Yeah. But if you see it, I mean, Bookmap is, you see it nonstop. That's why we're looking at levels. If you look back, let me, give me a second, then we'll pull Bookmap. I want to see if I can find some levels to line up here. All right, swap over there. Roy, while I'm on this other one. So look out to your left. So look, see this big area right here at the round 80. You can see that has been a spot. You can look here left. This is where we came down a minute ago. This is a spot now, 80, right above 80. 75 is a spot. But see all these over here?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when you're looking at Bookmap, you get focused here over. And Bookmap's something else you got to look left on, right? You got to see where your former levels are. So like these are perfect up here. It shows you where you had strong levels at. And I bet you anything, if we look at different levels, you'll see zones and stuff at those levels. So when you are drawing out your chart, if you have Bookmap, line it up with these to see how that works together. And it amazes you how strong these levels are. You look at this level here in the past, so you can see it back over here overnight, right? That was a level all the way across. Look here, every time you come up and touch it, you broke up above a little bit and you came right back down. Testing. So 6110 is a massive level that looks like it's going to take a lot to break through. Just kind of a little more information to give you a little extra you can look at and see what you can do. And by the way, since I do pay for my Bookmap, I can actually, if I was going to link a broker with it, I can actually trade off Bookmap. I don't want to do that. That's enough. I've got enough going on to worry about. If you have a personal account, you can go to that and do it. So
You're getting a push up here a little bit on the volume of puts. Call premium rising a little bit. Price kind of grinding. Put premium kind of grinding. But you get your put volume still kind of heavily in control on the SPY. And yeah, I don't see much to change the thesis. And the candles are gross, but they aren't exactly breaking down below the 60-90 substantially.
Is that our indicator there?
I think so.
Yeah. Anybody that doesn't know, me and Roy made an indicator using DeepSeek.
Yeah.
50 cross and stuff. And
we put very minimal effort into this. Like very minimal, I think like one prompt. So it's something we're going to look into more. But
look, I'm going to tell you, if you can use AI to draw your pound scripts, and it is fan. I mean, it gives you a great one to start with.
Yeah, and you can tinker and do and have fun. So this is ours. Our indicator is basically under the 50 MA on the chart. So you can see.
What we might do is eventually, if we work on it some more, if we get it to where we think it's actually useful, we will release it to you guys first before we release it to everybody else. I know you might hear about that, but to us, that's kind of a big deal. If we can get something that we think could help you guys, and we can release it to you guys, where you can have it. If you do have Trading View, where you can look at it, and it's going to be an invite only. We can make it an invite only, so you feel special that you'd be one of the first ones invited. And it might be something, and I don't know if it's, I haven't really talked to Roy about this, but it might be something that we could offer free to you guys, but we put it for sale for somebody else that wants to try it. So
definitely,
if we can get enough people looking at it, and if it's useful. Now, if it's not useful, we're not putting junk out there. I'm going to tell you that. No. So if it's not something that we would use, it's not going out there to you and everybody else. So, but we're trying to find a way. I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but when you start doing streaming and YouTube, all this stuff costs money, right? And we're trying to make our streaming part to be self-sufficient, where we don't have to fund it. And we're not charging you guys for things, so don't think that's where I'm going with it. It's not to charge our people that's here and it's been here since day one. Anything we ever do, if we do charge other people, you will have a free shot at it. So don't think that we are going to do it that way. I don't like this pop up here, because we had used to sell 84 billion 3-month bills. Governor Bailey, the Bank of England, don't put too much weight in NPC member votes. I don't know what the hell that means. Gonna sell 72 billion 6-month bills. U.S. imposes sanction on international network shipping Iranian oil to China. So that's where it came from. So the Iranian sanctions are on China. That's interesting. IMF, we are following U.S. tariff announcements. Assessment of impact will depend on the response of countries involved and consumers' reaction. We did have this trade. It was about $100 up. I still like what we're doing here. Oh my gosh, look at Tesla down 3%. Nvidia's up 1.4%. I know everybody's shocked with that one. Apple's down. Google's down. Amazon, Meta doing Meta things, right?
Strong.
I need to put Netflix back in there again. Netflix is the original Mag 7. I don't know if everybody remembers that or not. One of the fame names from the Mag 7, right?
Yep. Fame. Good golly. 2011.
It was Facebook, Amazon, Apple. What was the N? And Netflix and Google, right? Fame. 2 A's, F, 2 A's, N, and G. Roy sent me something yesterday too. What's his name, Roy? The UFC fighter?
Sean Strickland.
Did you watch his press conference, or was it yesterday's press conference?
Yeah, it's his media day. Yeah, it was yesterday or the day before, but
it is pure comedy gold. And then you get a headline from the Daily Telegraph, which I'm sure is a Australian paper.
Yeah.
And it says, "Knock this guy out." In Sydney yesterday, Strickland said Aussies are English white trash, called our pathetic, went on a recent tirade, and dared our government to ban him.
Yeah. He was going for it yesterday, that's for sure.
Well, here's the deal. So he called them white trash, but he said, "Hey, you're my white trash. I relate with you people."
Right.
So they're taking it as a insult, where he was not mean as an insult at all. He did call their gun laws pathetic. I wouldn't say he went on a racist tirade. That's where he went on a homophobic tirade. I mean, he called.
Yeah, he did that.
Called people a lot of things. He used the R word, ends in tard.
Yeah, quite a bit.
He talked about the short bus a lot. He talked about how dumb UFC fighters were. I thought that was hilarious. He called the media poor people. How many times did he call the media poor? Like, y'all are poor people. Like, y'all do this for a purpose. You went to school. That's hilarious. My God, I laughed so hard.
Yeah, he just let it rip. But if you can, this is kind of my theory with a lot of people. If you can kind of go through the noise a bit of, oh, I'm shocked that he said these particular words or anything, you can see where his line of thought is. It's not out of left field.
No. They asked him about Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell was another UFC fighter who pretty much said that Hitler was a good guy.
Yeah.
Worst take you could have possibly have.
Horrible. Yeah.
And he pretty much called him out. He's like, "Well, he's an idiot. What do you expect? I mean, he's a idiot from Arkansas." I was like, "Oh, there we go. Idiot." He's like, and it shows if you listen to him talk, you know he's an idiot. Like, take it for what it is. He's stupid. I was like,
yeah.
And then, what did he say? He said, I mean, the short bus comes and picks him up.
But
who was the girl he was talking about? Like, hey, she's college educated, but she's dumb.
The fighter. She's in the co-main event fighting. Wayne. It was good entertainment. If you're easily offended, you're gonna hate him.
Yeah, if you're easily offended, don't watch it because you will be offended.
I do appreciate candor, and I do appreciate people being themselves. Being themselves. And
you appreciate the honesty. You appreciate you appreciate the 0 F's given. Like, he did not care. He was laughing at him, and he's like, you go back and watch the press conference before. It wasn't a Canadian journalist that he wanted to fight. Like,
yeah.
And then of course he was looking for him. He's like, "Hey, where's that F word out?" I still got to fight this guy. Like, oh, okay. But he's laughing while he's doing the whole thing. Does he mean some of the stuff he says? Absolutely. I don't think he says stuff he doesn't mean.
Yeah, no, he means it, and
he slammed Saudi Arabia. He slammed UFC for taking money from Saudi Arabia. I thought that was really interesting to do what he did. And what was the thing he said he Googled when the press conference was over? He Googled how many Saudi Arabians were in 9/11.
Yes, it was a greatest hits of thing. I mean, he just let it rip, but
he hit everything.
Yeah.
Well, it gets me. They say I went on a racist tirade. Well, probably the journalist that he yeehawed the most with was the black journalist. Like, hey, dude, you look awesome. Look at you over there. That chain.
Yeah. He was having a good old time. But no, his reasoning for Bryce Mitchell's comments, obviously were he said they're heinous comments and all that stuff, but he said the guy's a product of the internet. He's going down a rabbit hole. He's doing his own research. He's, trying to come up with some narrative or some answer to some question, and he's got himself in this dark corner.
But then he also said that he didn't understand the stuff he was seeing on the internet.
Right? Yeah.
He's trying to do research. He's just an idiot. He can't do it on research. Like, he doesn't understand what he's reading.
Exactly. It was again, if you can kind of get through the noise a bit, there are some good nuggets there that make you say, all right, I can see where this guy Sean Strickland is coming from.
It was hilarious because Roy texted me. He's like, "Hey, you know Sean Strickland?" Yeah, I know him. He was like, "Do you watch his press conference?" No, I have to look it up. And then they got, you'll love it. Then I got the link to watch the press conference because Roy sent it to me right then. And that's probably the first press conference where I watched from the very beginning to the very end. I did not.
Yeah.
I didn't miss any. I watched every bit of it. And I laughed so hard.
Oh, 22 minutes, I think.
Yeah. And I watched every second of it.
Yeah. No, he let it rip.
One thing me and Roy's kind of noticed that kind of concerned me with this trade down here. A lot of times you see, 11 o'clock, right? When you see people, that's when the people on the East Coast go to lunch. A lot of times you see some short coverage during that time frame. So you see the market pop. Mm-hmm. You're coming in, you got that. You've got 10 to 11. You got market close, European market close. So you're seeing them cover their positions. So you're seeing a lot going on this time. So this trade could actually backfire and work against me here in a second, but we're going to let it play out. I'm not loving it at all.
No, I don't like that we closed above the 200. We came back, retested 200, bounced off of the 200. I don't like that. And you got 20 seconds left on this candle, and it's
bullish.
The high, it's the high of the candle. So,
but all we need is just need somebody to say tariff.
So you are approaching VWAP here at the close of this candle.
Get a rejection.
Yeah, you'd want to see that rejection.
Me and Roy was talking yesterday, and I was explaining to him why I was in a trade, the reasons why we're in the trade, and the trade worked out. So, but I remember like halfway through it, I kind of chuckled, and I told Roy, I said, "Well, I said one thing about it is I can show you all the reasons why this trade shouldn't work too. The exact same thing I just showed you. Watch.
Exactly.
Breaking above this 200 here is not a good sign for me. VWAP and the 200.
Oh, there's your pop.
Yeah,
Broke right to 2.
It's gonna get me the exact opposite of cooperation between Japan and U.S. on AI chip fields aimed up. So looks like China and Japan and us are going to work together on some chip stuff, AI and chip development. Well, there you go, boys and girls. This trade will get stopped out. We're going to let it hit a stop. I mean, why change it now, right? We could get lucky and said, but we're going to put tariffs on them too. So I doubt it. Once you get this high, you get this close to a stop, it generally takes the stop out. It stops right at the And once this stops this trade out, I think we will call the stream a day because me talking for 30 minutes before Roy got on was a lot. My voice is hurting.
You're getting a little bit of a shift on tide as well.
Yeah.
Now you could easily get a reversal back down, but you're definitely getting this turn up in the volume. So I mean,
I got one weird thing for you.
Yeah.
CBD is still negative 4,000. CBD has not moved much on this pop up here at all. So I don't get that. This thing could stop me out before it turns back down in my favor. Now negative 4,100. I don't.
What's pretty comical to me is look at the bottom wick and then look at the zone.
Yeah.
So
this candle is not looking as good as it did, though. Your tide has. Guess what your tide's doing?
Turning.
CBD is negative, right at negative 4,500 now. It's got to break back below. So you got the 200 and VWAP right here. If it breaks below that, you got all the EMAs to go through. Not just a couple of them. You got all of them to go through. Now, say tariff. Say tariff and take through all. I'm telling you, that is what algos are looking for is the word tariff. So I'm going to keep saying that. Hopefully they pick up on me saying tariff.
Doing a little trend line here. You can, that.
It's not a bad little trend line, is it?
That's how you break above that. Look out. But right now it's lower highs.
I don't know if we come back down, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm still in this trade. And if I didn't think it would, I probably should. Oh, did we just mention tariff again? I think that's old. I think it's just now catching up. I just opened up my phone and I think all my Twitter notifications just came through at that point. Yep, that is what happened. Tide is kind of shifting back. It's going to go across. Volume looks like it's going to go across the zero line now. CBD is still right at negative 4,500 though. It's back here testing Roy's new trend line, going above it. I'm not going to move my stop. I was tempted to move my stop back up. We're just going to let it stop us out. And we will see what happens. Yep, there it is. 4,300, negative 4,300 CBD. But you had to pop in Tide and then swap. Your volume actually turned green.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason we had to stop there. Look at it. Is 6,100 the level to move? We are above the 50, so we're not looking for a short here. Roy, I think it's been about 2 hours in the stream. I think it's about time we give it a rest here for the day.
Yeah, that works for
We
me.
toyed with the idea of moving, just changing the stream starting at 10 or 11 o'clock because that's when the trend starts.
Well, yeah, I mean that's kind of that new approach we're doing. So
Yeah, and look, it's working now just because you got so much. I mean, you look at this junk. I know we've traded some of it, we've made money off some of it, but that's a lot of junk in there to get the move down. And here, I mean, we're making a lower high. This son of a gun. I mean, it catches me by the T, and does it drop here? That would be my story. Volume has gone back. That slight little green move up is not a slight little green move up no more. It's a red move. Back negative. CBD's holding negative 4,500. So, but anyway, guys, it has been a fantastic week. We lost this trade. We know anybody that's watched this knows that I've got that one trade down. That doesn't mean that's where that account ends at for the day. So, but we're only going to trade it safe. Hopefully, I can get Roy to hang out with me for a while so we can look at some things and see, maybe work on some things, but see if we can find some decent trades here or there.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, guys. Sorry for being late, but
yeah. So I'm sorry for taking your time making your coffee and cheese toast.
Super Bowl prediction before we go. What you got?
I don't know. I just don't know if they can let Kansas City get the 3-peat.
Yeah.
3-peats are hard.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I think Kansas City pulls it out. I don't know. That's just my thought. I can't pull for the Eagles, and I don't want to pull for the Kansas City, so I think I'm just going to buy some squares, and I'm pulling for my quarter scores.
You gonna watch the Puppy Bowl?
No. We go back to a party. We do at least one board, if not two boards of squares. So there'll actually be some decent money on the line each quarter.
Okay.
So get in on that. It'll be a fun time. I'll be cooking mostly since I am most of the time a designated cook. That's okay. I like cooking.
I'm gonna go Eagles by 10 or more points.
Just told you I can't Eagles. So
10 or more points.
I want you to, whatever all your prop bets are, I want a screenshot. We want to post those when we come back so everybody can see them because I told them you would go on your digging straight and do some stupid stuff. So we're waiting on stupid
They're
stuff.
fun. Yeah, you get like Saquon to have 25 or 5 rushing yards a quarter. How many
people does Saquon jump hurdle?
Yeah. That's the Super Bowl, so they're going to be out in full force with the random ones. So.
Yeah, you got to start the national anthem over under time. I want to see that. Who's singing it?
Color of Gatorade.
Yeah, all that good stuff. So throw everybody off and they just do water. That is an option.
That is an option. Oh, all right, man. Thank you, guys.
Yep. See you guys on Monday.